Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Virgo October 1st, 2024. You could question some of the things you do for work or in service to others today. It could come to light that it's better to slim down your duties to focus on the most important ones. Especially as the day advances, you tend to make good use of a deliberate pace, and you're ready to put in some effort toward achieving your goals, particularly those related to learning, communicating, and connecting. If you can benefit from some study, this is a great time to do so. Whether you're catching up or getting ahead of yourself, efforts to learn can be very successful now. You are also attracted to taking on a challenge. Others are very interested in what you say and may turn to you for sage advice. It's an excellent time for brushing up on your knowledge and developing skills. A sizzling energy is coursing through the cosmos today and tomorrow. This is because mighty Mars, the planet of sex, drive, and passion, is linked in a trine with the great taskmaster, Saturn. The red planet orbits in your solar house of short-distance travel, with Saturn spinning in your solar house of friendships. You may get a sudden urge to book a FLI. GHT or head on a road trip with a pal regardless if single or attached. If you're able to jet off and enjoy the moment, exciting adventures and sexy memories could be right around the corner. Same stuff, new day. It might feel like there is no end in sight to a work cycle, as the Sun in Libra and Mercury in Libra conjunct the South Node in Libra. Although you like stability, you may feel somewhat stuck and stagnant right now. Something at work could cause you to feel like you are going in a loop. It could be having the same conversations over and over or feeling an overall lack of spontaneity. While this might be boring, there is something to take away from this quiet, if lackluster, period. You are not one to take obstacles as a reason to back down or give up. But it's important to recognize when you are dealing with heavy pressures so that you can give yourself a little TLC when needed. You enjoy pressure to a certain extent, but it can wear on us all, and we need to call on our creativity to bring that sparkle back into our daily lives when it has worn thin. Consider giving yourself a massage as a special treat. The vibrations of the moment will bring some constraints that you will. I have difficulties escaping from. This isn't serious because your faculties for adaptation and your natural good humor will allow you to be on top of events. It's true that you have less punch than during the last few days, but you are still in reasonable shape. So, the day may be a little rough, but you will find solace in your sentimental life, where you are having success. You have the desire to conquer, so this period will be very favorable. Whether it's the weekend or not, taking a moment to pause between one busy workweek and another is essential, especially as we approach one of the most significant working weeks of the year. Currently, both the Sun and Mercury are entering their first weekend in your work sector, moving toward an alignment that will peak in the coming days. Additionally, you are on the brink of an eclipsing new moon. This marks a pivotal point where everything you've done up until now culminates and sets the stage for future endeavors. It's also an ideal time to test your ability to balance work and life boundaries effectively by knowing when to wear your work hat and when to take it off. Just as Venus, the planet of love, is settling into her first weekend in your relationship sector, and she is already benefiting from the moon's return to your communication sector earlier in the week, the moon returns to your romantic sector. 3 days after Mercury not only left but ended all planetary activity on the romantic front for the year, these romantically charged lunar vibes will be a chance to capture and hold on to the spirit of romance. Our eyes in the sky. The beauty of today's astrological alignment lies in the opportunity for transformation and growth. With the Sun and Mercury opposing the North Node in Aries, you are being called to step into your power and leave behind patterns that no longer serve you. It's as if the universe is presenting you with a crossroads. One path leads to the comfort of the familiar, while the other invites you to take bold steps toward personal evolution and progress. Have you ever had that moment and you realized that staying within your comfort zone was actually holding you back? Maybe it was a job you stayed in for too long, a relationship you clung to out of fear of the unknown, or even a habit that was easier to maintain than to break. We've all been there, stuck between what we know and what we dream of achieving. Today offers the perfect moment to break free. It might feel a little scary at first, but sometimes growth comes from stepping into the unknown with courage and trust. You are ready for this. Ask yourself, what's one small step you can take today toward a healthier, more empowered version of yourself? There's something so special about knowing you're part of a Team ORA community where your contributions are valued. If you've been craving that sense of unity, today is the day to nurture it. Send that message, make that call, or reach out to someone you've been meaning to connect with. Have you ever noticed how even the smallest efforts toward connection can lead to deeper bonds? When we come together with the right intentions, we can achieve so much more than we could on our own. That said, while it's wonderful to embrace social interactions and team spirit, don't forget to carve out time for yourself. Have you ever spent a day surrounded by people, only to feel drained by the end, even if the experience was positive? Socializing is beautiful and necessary, but so is solitude. Taking moments to recharge ensures that when you're with others, you're fully present, energized, and able to give your best self. So if you're feeling the need to step back for a bit, honor that feeling. Give yourself permission to recharge, knowing you'll return even stronger and more centered. On a practical note, today's momentum is incredibly favorable for those of you who've been working toward personal or professional goals. Have you ever felt that satisfying rush? When all your hard work starts to pay off, and everything you touched seems to fall into place? That's the energy surrounding you right now. Whether you've been grinding on a project, building toward a career milestone, or managing financial matters, expect to see tangible progress. Keep riding this wave of success, and remember to acknowledge how far you've come. You've put in the work, and you deserve to enjoy the rewards. So if things are finally coming together, celebrate Theta Euro, you've earned it. Now, let's talk about relationships, because just as you're finding balance in your work and social life, the same theme applies to your personal connections. Have you been feeling like your relationships are either too intense or too shallow? Life has a funny way of swinging between extremes, but today is a great opportunity to find that sweet spot where relationships feel both meaningful and lighthearted. Whether it's a romantic partnership, a friendship, or even family dynamics, ask yourself, how can I bring more balance into my relationships? Maybe you've been taking things a bit too seriously lately and could benefit from letting loose and having fun, or perhaps it's time to deepen a connection that's been more surface level. Either way, today's energy supports you in making those adjustments. And lastly, if you've been feeling bogged down by the daily grind, know that you're not alone. We all have days when the routine tasks start to feel like they're piling up, and it seems like nothing is moving forward. Maybe you've been feeling stuck or uninspired, and that's perfectly okay. But isolating yourself or getting frustrated won't make things easier. Have you ever tried to tackle everything on your own, only to feel even more weighed down by the pressure? Today's energy is a reminder that you don't have to go it alone. Whether it's reaching out to family, friends, or colleagues, asking for help or simply talking things through can make all the difference. Sometimes, just knowing someone else is there to support you lightens the load.